What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing here, back with another video, and in today's video, guys, we are here with the updated Grand Cross tier list as of the end of September, beginning of October. I'm just gonna call this the October one. But yeah, we are here, guys, with the blue Eastin, LR Cusack, and the brand new Goddess of Fate Skuld, and we're actually going to be ranking them on the PVE and PvP tier list that we did update from last month. If you guys want to see last month's updated tier list, feel free to check out the link in the description. That's where you're going to be able to see the videos for each of these. And yeah, what we're going to do is we're actually going to rank these 3 new characters that we've gotten in the past month, and actually rank them on the PVE and PvP tier list to see what, viability they actually do have. So if you guys do enjoy videos like this, definitely make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, as we are on the road to that 54,000 subscribers. I definitely do appreciate the support on the channel, guys. And with that out of the way, man, let's hop in and let's start with the blue Eastin. Alrighty, guys, so we are here with the Eastin of Authority Deep Sea Explorer. This is the Summer Eastin and the part 2 of the Summer Gelda event. So let's actually go over exactly what this character is able to do in terms of her kit, and then we're going to go back to the tier list. I'm actually going to rank exactly where I think this character is in terms of her viability in PvP and PvE. So starting off with our passive here, guys, Deep Sea Explorer is going to be active in all content and even in the sub slot, which is really good. Now for her passive, it's going to be for every human ally participating in the battle, their basic stats is going to increase by 5% and their attack is going to increase by 5%. When a human ally takes damage, they are healed for 10% of their max HP at the start of the ally's turn. And for each buff or debuff active on the battlefield, human allies damage taken decreases by 8% to a limit of 5 times. And if an ally defeats an enemy during the ally's turn, all enemies' ultimate move gauge are depleted by 2 orbs at the end of the turn. So yeah, just a very, very good, kind of supportive backline passive right there, guys. Like, this is really good stuff. Like, honestly, like, humans getting this is pretty crazy, because if any other race got this too, I mean, that's one of the best backline supports instantly, right? So yeah, that's a really good passive. Now, moving on to her skills here. For her first skill, she's going to have La Maria. It's going to be inflicts pierce damage equal to 180% of attack on one enemy and removes 1 orb from the ultimate move gauge with pierce rate 3x increase, right? So pierce and gauge reduction, right? So that's actually really good. So pierce 272 gauges and then 453 gauges. That's pretty good. And then moving on to our second skill here, Endure. It's going to inflict damage equal to 180% of attack on all enemies. Then it's going to do 180 on all enemies and allows only single target skills to be used for 1 turn. And then 2 turns, 270. So yeah, this is AoE, remember, right? So it's hitting everyone and they're forcing them to only use single targets. So yeah, that is a pretty solid skill as well. And then for our Holy Relic, guys, this is going to be only active on field. So this is again from the older Eastin of Authorities. This is a variant of another, Eastin, obviously. So if the hero uses a skill to deplete the enemy's ultimate move gauge, the hero recovers 10% of diminished HP for each orb removed. So this is really not that crazy. You're really not gonna, get too much out of this, other than the fact that it is just stats, right? And then moving on to our ultimate here, guys, Queen's Amusement. This is at the 1 in a 6 dupe level, and also bear in mind, guys, that this ultimate is actually different from the other variants of Eastin. This one's actually its own kind of buff versus the other one, which was completely different. So Queen's Amusement for the blue Eastin specifically increases the hero's attack related stats by 30% for 2 turns, then inflicts power strike damage equal to 630% of attack on 1 enemy, and power strike is going to be additional damage equal to enemy resistance. And this is at 1 in a 6, by the way. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, you're getting the attack related and single target power strike. Alrighty, guys, so now that we've discussed exactly what Eastin's able to do in terms of her kit, where are we actually going to rank her on the PvP and PvE tier list? So starting off with the PvE tier list, I think Eastin's actually going to be a pretty solid option. Now, the reason why I say this is because, like, even if you're someone that's like, okay, I'm going to be using Eastin as just kind of like a support unit on the field, she's solid. Like, I'm going to give her the B tier. Now, the reason why I'm giving her B tier specifically is because she's not really doing enough for herself, I would say, that where, having her on field is going to matter enough. Whereas if she's like a backline in like PvP, let's say, I mean, she's going to be great, right? Because you're getting all the support and she doesn't really have to do anything. Again, like with her skills here, let me actually go back to the game here to show you guys. But for her skills, I mean, like, this skill is solid. Like the gauge reduction pierce, like, that actually is a good effect. And then this one right here where it's sealing single targets is nice. But again, guys, this is a older Eastin. They did not buff this character's stats, so it's still about the same stats as the older Eastins in the game. So, with that being said, I mean, that's not really gonna help the character too much, even though she does have, a really, really good backline supportive effect. I wouldn't say she's going to be as good as, a character like Nasiance, where he is a on-fielder attack-related buffer and giving you damage reduction with some type of healing too. That is really good. I mean, she does give like start a turn a little bit, and again, that is pretty nice, but I would say like the damage potential you're getting out of Nasians is going to be more than Eastin right there. So yeah, it really kind of depends. I mean, you know, Nasians is like a very comparable character to her in my opinion, because like, you know, he is pretty much doing the role of Eastin, but I would say Nasians does it a little bit better, to be honest. Like, he does the role a little bit better, and so because of that, I am gonna actually give Eastin the B tier, where she is pretty niche, but I mean, she still is viable, you know, if you are running a full human team, for sure. All right, now moving over to PvP, guys. Eastin in PvP is actually gonna be in the top tier with the humans. I mean, Eastin as a backline on the human team, I think is insanely strong, especially the fact that, you know, the Light Escanor team, they can go second and still be pretty successful. Light Escanor, you know, LR Brun, you got, who else we got here? Sigurd, you know, in the backline originally. Now you're gonna run the Eastin backline now, right? And then you got like Nasians there. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like the human team is really strong. You got like Sun Jin Woo, obviously, right? So yeah, I mean, again, guys, like the human team is really strong right now. And with the fact that Eastin is buffing them as much as she is, she easily, in my opinion, is going to be the best backline support for humans now. I mean, you know, you're getting the starter turn heal, you're getting the gauge lower when you get a kill, you're getting the attack and basic stats as well. Like, I mean, it's a lot, man. You have to actually like think about it too, right? It's for every ally, remember in the passive, right? For every ally, you're getting 5% basic stats and attack increase, right? For every, so if it's 3v3, you're getting 15% basic stats, which is attack, defense, HP, and another 15% attack on top of that. So you're getting 30% attack, 15% defense, 15% HP. That's really good, man. That is nothing to scoff at, guys. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now with Eastin. Really good backline support, but like again, if you run her on field as like an on fielder, she's not gonna do good. She's the only backline relegated unit at this point in the game. So yeah, that's gonna be Eastin, guys. Let's move on now to LR Cusack, and we'll talk about his you know, his actual kit first, and then we'll rank him on the tier list. Alrighty, guys. So we have the Naping Reaper Dual Swordsman Cusack LR. Let's talk about exactly what this character is able to do, and then we're gonna rank him on the tier list. So first, passive here, active in all content, by the way, when entering battle. This is something they changed on his LR. Originally, this character only worked in PvP in his passive. Now it's in all content. When a demon ally uses a single target attack on an enemy, they inflict additional damage equal to 80% of the enemy's increased max HP. For every demon ally participating in the battle, their damage taken decreases by 20% and increases demon allies' basic stats by 15% of the hero's initial critical damage, minus 100% up to a 20% increase in basic stats. And when a demon ally attacks a buffed enemy, damage dealt is going to increase by 50% as well. So yeah, I mean, a ton of buffs right there, guys. This character is a support while being a very solid DPS too. And against any increased max HP enemies, he is cooking, man. So yeah, let's go over his skills here. So his first skill here is now, instead of just cleave, it's actually inflicting rend damage. So rend is 2 times pierce rate and additional damage equal to 100% of critical damage minus 100%. So pretty much whatever your critical damage is, minus 100%, that's what you're getting. They just straight up, you just get your straight up crit damage, right? So it's really good. And yeah, 220%, 330, 550% of attack. Really good scaling right there for Cusack. And then moving on to the second skill here, this one only changed in terms of the actual attack, and then also the fact that it did gain 2 gauge lower on the rank 2. But yeah, so it's 132 rank 1, 330 rank 2, 495 rank 3, 3 gauge, 2 gauge 1, right? So pretty straightforward with that. And then for his Holy Relic, guys, this was one he already had for a long time, but increases the hero's critical damage by 80%. This is initial critical damage too. This is not something where, you know, you're gonna have it like as like a buff for critical damage. This is just in your stats for Cusack the moment you load into the fight. So there you guys go, man. That is just an extra 80%. That's gonna matter for his passive when you're giving the basic stats to the team. And then moving on to his ultimate here, guys. So the Resonant increases the hero's damage dealt by 50% for 2 turns, then inflicts power strike damage equal to 840% of attack on one enemy. This is at the 606 dupe level, by the way. And then yeah, 840% of attack on one enemy. Then applies Abyss on the hero for 1 turn. So you have obviously your power strike is additional damage to you know, higher resistance on the enemy. Abyss is going to be inflicts additional damage equal to 50% at 6 out of 6. So at the lower dupes, even at 1 or 2 out of 6, you don't have Abyss at all. Rank 3, or I guess like the level 3 dupe wise, you get 25%, and then at the level 5 or higher, you're getting 50% of your Abyss. So yeah, it definitely is important on the scaling for this character's ultimate, guys, and yeah, it is gonna matter a lot. Alrighty, guys, so now that we've discussed exactly what LR Cusack's able to do in terms of his kit, let's actually rank him now on the PvP and PvE tier list. So for the PvP side of the game, guys, LR Cusack, in terms of the demon team, is actually up there. Now, the thing is with LR Cusack is he's kind of a slot in if you do not have the brand new Summer Gelda. You know what I mean? Like, you can slot in demons and they perform really well. Now we're gonna talk about the last character on the tier list that we're actually gonna be ranking in this, and that character, you know, kind of shakes up the meta a little bit. We're gonna have to adjust a lot of this stuff right here, but yeah, I mean, LR Cusack though for demons is a very strong option. Really good. He gives your team a bunch of damage reduction. He gives your team basic stats. You do increased max HP damage, so any character that has, you know, an all stats buff, basic stat buff, anything like that, even opposing assault melees, they are going to be taking a lot of damage from Cusack, and even the rest of your team, because remember, it's a team-wide buff, right? So the fact that you are able to do that in PvP, this character is absurd. So yeah, I gotta give him the S tier in PvP. Now for PvE, LR Cusack might actually be up there too. I will give him the A tier. He's actually very good. You take him in pretty much any PvE content. Things like Demon King, by the way, one of the best characters for Demon King. If you guys saw my video, he's so broken on Demon King. You literally can one phase the first phase of Demon King on hell mode, which is absurd, right? The fact you're able to do that. His Abyss does a lot of damage on things like Rat. You're able to kind of speed run that as well. Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing really holding the character back would be like, you know, floor 4 Bird and Deer, right? Like, that's really the only thing. Everything else, this character is, it just cleans house. He's insane, guys. This LR is actually one of the better LRs we've gotten in recent time, and he is really good. So yeah, definitely going to be a instant A tier. Really good across all PvE content. Again, you know, he's not a Ragnarok character, so, you know, floors 4 of Bird and Deer, that's not going to be his strong suit, but pretty much everything else, he's really good, man. So yeah, I mean, there you guys go. That is going to be LR Cusack right there. Let's move on now to Goddess of Fate Skuld, and let's finish out this tier list, guys. Alrighty, guys, we got Destiny Defier, Goddess of Fate Skuld. Let's go over her kit, and then we're gonna actually rank her on the tier list based on what she's able to do. So starting off with her Unity, this is a character that does have a Unity, guys. So this is at the 3 to 6 dupe level, yeah, for my global account. Increases HP related stats of allies with a Unity effect by 5%. Effect is enhanced based on the ultimate move level again. So the higher the dupe level, the higher the amount of HP related you're getting. Now for her passive here, Goddess of Foresight, this is going to be active in all content when entering battle, increases applicable allies basic stats by 5%, and decreases damage taken by 15% for each applicable ally participating in the battle. And the applicable allies can be either giants or Ragnarok characters. Now gains Unbound Prophecy 2-star and applies Threads of Fate on applicable allies at the start of the battle. And Threads of Fate is going to be HP related plus 20%. You get increased target allies skill ranks when removed, and the turn durations applied without duplicates between 2 and 4 turns. Applies Thread of Fate to 2 heroes for 4 turns in the battle with 4 heroes. And it's going to remove the Threads of Fate with the lowest number of turns remaining at the end of the ally's turn. Then the hero gains Threads of Foresight for 3 turns. And Threads of Foresight is going to be all stats plus 5%, attack related stats plus 15, and then damage dealt depending on the dupe level. So at 3 to 6, it's 40%, and it's going to stack up to 3 times. And then if the hero is assuming a stance and an applicable ally takes damage, their final damage is decreased by 40%, which again is going to be a dupe, scaling effect. So the final damage decrease applies the higher value if there is a duplicate unique effect. And then it's going to increase applicable allies basic stats by 7% every time the hero gains Foresight, which is going to be limited 3 times. And then when the hero counters with Foresight, the target's damage dealt is decreased by 40% for 1 turn, stacking up to 2 times. So yeah, I mean, guys, that's a lot of stuff to really mention right there. Absolutely absurd. This character does a ton of stuff in the passive, a ton of support, a ton of just kind of damage buffing, rank ups as well. I mean, yeah, like this is super absurd, you know, Giants and Ragnarok as well. Alright guys, now moving on to these skills here, starting off with our first skill, Crescent Graze. Inflicts insight damage equal to 200% of attack on one enemy. Insight's going to be 3 times pierce rate increase. Inflicts additional damage equal to 40% of the target's remaining HP. Applies all target attack disable on the target for 1 turn when dealing damage while Threads of Foresight is active. And the scaling is going to go from 200 to 300 to 500% of attack. Now moving on to our second skill here, Unbound Prophecy. Assumes a stance which grants Foresight into enemy attacks for 1 turn, inflicting provision damage equal to 180% of attack via counter. Now Foresight is going to be counters before the enemy attacks and excludes ultimate moves. Provision is going to be 3 times critical chance, 3 times critical damage, and then damage dealt plus 50% for each Thread of Fate applied to the allies. And you can see the scaling here is going to be 180, 230, and 330% of attack for 2 turns on the rank 3. And then moving on to the ultimate here, guys. This is again at the 3-6 dupe level. So Sisters of Fate gains 2 threads of foresights for 3 turns, then inflicts insight damage equal to 600% of attack on all enemies. And again, guys, insight is the exact same effect as the single target skill that she has as well. Alrighty, guys, so we are here now with Goddess of Fate Skuld on the tier list. Where are we going to be ranking this character in the PvP and PvE side of the game? Let's start with PvP, because I feel like that's a lot we kind of have to talk about, and also team comps we got to move around as well. But Goddess of Fate Skuld, I mean, she is up there in the top of PvP in general, right? Like, we're moving King of Diane up. We're moving... Where's Matrona and Scotty? Scotty and Matrona have gotten a resurrection, y'all. Where are they at? I can't even find them. Green Scotty is definitely up here. I mean, you have options now, which is the nice thing too, right? You have actual options in terms of, like, these Scotty you're using and the giant characters you're bringing on the team too. Okay, I cannot find any of the other Scotties, guys. Yeah, no, pretty much Scotty is insanely strong right now in PvP. I'd say if you have, like, red or green Scotty with Skuld and King and Diane, that's a very strong, you know, giant team. And then for your backline, from what I remember, I think I was talking with Davo about it, I think the blue Matrona is actually the highest CC backline for giants. So blue Matrona technically is in top tier PvP right now too, wherever she is. Or I guess I'll just grab like any Matrona, really, because you can bring pretty much any Matrona. But yeah, guys, like, Matrona is the best backline as well for giants. If I can find the character, man. I cannot find Matrona, guys. Here, we'll take this one, okay? But pretty much take any Matrona and you can run her backline. Giants are absurd. Now, another team that's insanely strong too, and what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to drop fairies down, because I feel like at this point in the game, fairies have taken a backseat. I'll keep, you know, Shadow there, because Shadow is still viable, at least on, like, a human team, right? So I'll put him there. But I will drop down fairies, guys. Fairies right now, especially with King and Diane being moved to a giant team and Skuld just being so strong, fairies right now, I say, are definitely not as good as that team. Like, you know, giants are just better, right? Ragnarok characters are going to stay, and I think unknowns are still viable too, so I actually will keep them in. But yeah, I mean, right now, like, there is a bunch of viability you can rock. So where is, like, the Ragnarok Diane unit? She has to be, like, somewhere here, right? Because, you know, she is actually, like, pretty solid. Yeah, so guys, like, the thing is, because there's so many characters here, it's gonna be hard for me to kind of find it. Okay, this Diane, but the green one, okay? If we can find that one, then I can put that one in. Here we go. So this Diane is actually absurd. I saw Davo's video on this Diane with Skuld, and it's pretty absurd, guys. Like, you can run either... No, you have to run Ragnarok. You have to run full Ragnarok with this character, though. But, like, she's insane. So I'm going to put her with, like, a bunch of the other Ragnarok characters. So she's really good. You can run, like... I mean, you could run Tyr if you really wanted to. This Hell definitely is really good alongside them. Baldur is another character that might have to go up there. I'm not going to lie. He's absurd with the Ragnarok team. And then, yeah, I mean, like, pretty much take any really good Ragnarok character, guys. LR Brunhild too, right? Take any Ragnarok character and you run the team. It's a broken team, man. It's super busted. So Skuld pretty much has changed up the meta to where you have to counter this character. And another character that will actually be moving up because of the counters is Transcendent Bond, because Transcendent Bond is the only character right now that can actually counter what Skuld's doing. So bear that in mind, guys. If you're running humans now, Transcendent Bond, you know, Sun Jin Woo, you could slot in like LR Brunhild or Light Escanor, and then your backline Eastin. Like, that team can still kind of deal with a Skuld team just based on Bond being able to lower the, you know, the attack related and the crit chance, right? Just because Skuld, if she's not critting on her counter, she's just not doing damage. And so if you're able to lower that, then, you know, you're going to be in a really good spot. So yeah, that's going to be PvP, guys. Again, there's a lot of things that I feel like have changed here. Again, if I was able to, like, actually, like, scour through the tier list and actually find, like, the better Matrona. Blue Matrona here should be better, but pretty much any Matrona can be run. Ragnarok Diane is viable now because of Skuld. You have the Green Hell, you have, you know, Baldur, you know, LR Brunhild, right? Thor as well, Ragnarok 2, right? So again, guys, you have a ton of viability, and then Transcendent Bond is in that tier now because of how good Skuld is. Now, Skuld for PvE. Skuld in PvE, I have yet to do. So, okay, this is preliminary because I have yet to actually do, you know, floor 4 of Bird and Deer. But I think just based on what she's doing right now, I think she, at the very least, is A tier. Like, she might be up here, but right now A tier. Now, she's able to clear pretty much all PvE content in the game. She does it relatively easily too, and I mean, she does a lot of damage. Now, again, she is a Ragnarok character, so I do see her possibly being viable in, you know, floor 4 deer, floor 4 bird. I still have to do that testing myself to really confirm that, but right now, just based on like what I've done with her so far in PvE, I mean, she clears pretty much everything, guys, and her counters still bypass even those like 500% minus counter damage, and she's still doing like 300k. Right, like, it's still super absurd. So yeah, Skuld, in my opinion, is gonna be the A tier right there, and that's where I'm gonna have the tier list right now, guys, for the beginning of October. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Again, you can pause the video, guys, to see exactly where, you know, each character is. But yeah, I mean, that is going to be the PvP tier list right there, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. That's gonna be it, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one, man. Peace out. Have a great rest of your day, guys. See you later, man.